Hey everybody, welcome back to Art and Actuality. I have another video to make today, and it's a topic that I kind of just thought up, honestly. It's one I've been thinking about for a long time though, and it has a lot to do with how you are perceived, maybe like on a collective level, right? Or maybe just the idea of collective perception, right? So what is collective perception? Well, one might say that collective perception is the combined perceptions, or maybe one perception that a group of people may generally agree that they have, or it's perceived that that group of people has this perception, right? There's a meta thing for you right there. So collective perception is essentially the opinions and beliefs of a group of people, right? So maybe Christianity, right? Like you have collective perception among Christians, only it's not all uniform, right? Because you have all these different denominations. So you have these ideas where people base them off of something. So in this case, it's based off of the gospel, right? So it's these books, a collection of books that ultimately were put together by the Catholic Church and selected for what is now known as the Bible. And even that, there's multiple different versions of. And so you have this collective perception that's based on like a central text or some kind of a tradition, right? And people have that in common, right? So you can operate on a collective perception, but you can't actually operate specifically down to the individual level, like choice by choice on a collective perception. It influences people's choices and decisions, right? But it doesn't actually control their choices on an individual level. Now, an individual perception, I would argue, is even more, if you wanted to say factual or true, if you wanted to give it some kind of a weight, right? Like, and actually give it like a rating on how factual it is, like on a percentage scale, right? You could say an individual perception is actually more factual than a collective perception. And the reason why is because on an individual level, you have your own perception, and it actually guides and directs you and influences your choices on a choice by choice basis, and actually kind of essentially controls your choices, because what you believe ultimately factors in very heavily into what you choose and what you do, and therefore actually makes your choices for you to a large degree. Like if I really truly believe that it's not possible for me to get a particular job, right? If I ever put any effort out towards it, I'm probably not going to put a very legitimate effort out, because I don't really believe it's possible. So I'm going to kind of throw one, at the wall and see what, like throw some pasta at the wall and see if it sticks, kind of thing, right? And just see, well, it's, I'm just going to throw it out there, but I'm not going to sit and fill an application out for an hour for a job that I really truly believe is not worth the time, because I know that they're already going to look at it and say he doesn't have this qualification, he can't get it, And so basically what I'm saying is, like, if you believe something, and this is like such a simple concept, right? Like if you believe it, you can do it, and then you will, and then you probably will succeed. And if you don't believe it, then you won't, and then you probably won't, and you won't succeed. Yeah. If you believe it and you start to act from that place of belief, from your individual level of perception, okay? Say, if I believe that it's possible for me to reach out to a job that I don't have any, maybe I have some related skills and some things that I've done that were related to that, but it wasn't, maybe I don't have a degree in their field, and maybe they say you have to, right? Maybe they say you have to have some kind of certification. Maybe they say that you have to have this many years of experience in this particular field. So let's say for a moment, let's just say it's in insurance sales or auditing or something, right? So say I apply for that. It says I've got to have a certain certificate or a license for that, right? I apply for it, and then I put a note in and I contact them and I let them know, hey, I'm in the process of applying for this license and I'm taking the tests. And I apply for it. I put down any related experience and I try to tool up the resume to say, like, hey, I've done this type of work related to this insurance field and done these things and these investigations in insurance. And then the next thing you know, I'm hearing back from this insurance company saying, hey, you know what? Actually, we have a trainee program and we will get you your license. And all of a sudden, I'm doubling my income, right? Because I actually took some initiative, because I believed and I saw, or at least like I just did right there, I just imagined a pathway where it was clearly stated, this is blocked off to you. There's no pass, no go, no collect $200. You're not gonna, you will not get this job if you don't have XYZ, right? But individual level perception is going to guide and direct your decisions to the point where there are going to be things that break through for you. That actually break through for you because you believed and you saw, you had vision. You actually had vision and you were able to go, well, what if, and I'm telling you this from experience too, because I've worked in certain companies where they had a program, and I only found out about it after I already had the license, and they're like, oh yeah, so for all of you who just came on board, we're going to just get you your license. It's like, and here I thought I had to have that first, right? And there have been countless situations like that where I just heard it through a friend that, you can go into this field if you do it this way or if you do it that way. And even then, when I would tell people about it, they'd be like, oh, well, you can't really do that. Are you sure that it works that way? Are you sure? And I would just kind of on faith, just take steps, a little step here, a little step there, until things started to break through. All of a sudden, I started to see opportunities come my way. Not just once, but I would repeat the process many times in order to achieve the same results. Why? Because it happened once. It's kind of like that experiment, where the rats press the lever, they know if I've done this once, I can do it again. Even an animal knows if I've done this once, I can do it again. Individual level perception, very powerful, psychologically powerful, okay? And also I would posit that on a group level or a societal level, when it comes to conditioning or perception, right? You've got ideas that are very pervasive, that are very limiting, that most people think are just facts, right? And if you have everybody operating on a paradigm that is like a collective paradigm of limitation, then it's not limitation to anyone. It's just the way it is, right? So this is just a cool concept that I want you to explore in your own life is what individual level perceptions do you have that may be limiting, right? And examine those in comparison to collective level perceptions about the same things, right? If it's about relationships, like I'm a father, so I don't have, I'm not out looking for a relationship, right? But if somebody is looking for a relationship, right, they might believe, oh, well, this type of girl only likes this kind of guy, right? Or a girl might think this kind of guy only likes this kind of girl, who looks like this and acts like that, right? And therefore lives into that individual level perception. So she doesn't seek out the kind of guy that she actually wants, right? She doesn't seek out a person that she thinks is sensitive or caring or cool or does something interesting that she thinks is attractive, right, in a partner. Instead, she seeks out the person that she thinks likes a girl like her, right? And then therefore gets the same kinds of relationships that maybe she doesn't want, right? And it could go the same way for a guy too. You could be like, oh, well, this type of girl that I'm attracted to doesn't like a guy who looks like me, or doesn't have as much money as this other guy, right? Or something like that. Or maybe she only likes guys who are in finance, right? Or a doctor or a lawyer, right? So you get these limiting perceptions in your mind, and then you just decide that it's not worth even trying, and you get in your own mind and you basically kind of jinx yourself, right? Like you get psyched out, so you wouldn't even have the confidence. What if you told yourself that in your life, like if it's a job, if it's a relationship, if it's, what if it's just success in your own relationship, right? What if you told yourself that what desired outcome I desire, or I am trying, whatever I have a vision for in my life, is what is more likely to happen because I'm living into it, because I'm giving it that energy, because when I do that, the world around me shifts and changes, Why does the world around you shift and change? When you're a nice person to people, people are nice to you in response, right? If you're not a nice person to people, people are not nice to you in response, right? So the world around you shifts and changes as you change your energy, as you change the vision that you have for things. If I say to myself that today I'm going to talk to some new people, everywhere I go, I'm going to pitch my business. Everywhere I go, I'm going to appreciate people and tell them something nice and appreciative, like some kind of a compliment or something, right? An appropriate one. I'm going to give people, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give positivity to people everywhere I go. I will be willing to bet you that that day is going to be a great day, and you're probably going to have some meaningful connections and possibly some productivity happen there. Maybe even find and figure out some things that you didn't know what to do about. Maybe have some new insights because you have an open mind during that entire day. So this is why I say group perception is not necessarily factual. It doesn't matter if every human being in the world believes something. It doesn't guarantee that thing to be true. And at an individual level, if you believe something and you're acting on it, it is guaranteed to affect your experience of this reality. It's guaranteed to either limit or open the door for possibilities in what you can achieve, or how your day might go even, So on a collective level, I can turn on the news today and see so many things that are so negative. And I can go around, to a cafe or something and hear somebody say, oh yeah, everything's effed up right now. Yeah, it's just so negative right now. It's so bad. Like, it's just, everything is just, it's messed up right now. Right? You can either tune into like a collective negativity and sense of limitation, or you can, literally just tune out. If it's a television, you can turn it off. If it's content, you can just watch something else. If it's, you could read a book, right? You can go out and you can go outside in nature. So there's ways that you can mitigate like this kind of collective negativity. And something I want people to be aware of, and I wrote about it in my book, The Cancel, which is coming out now. I have the proof copy actually got shipped to me today, and I think I'm going to do a video with a reading from it. But basically the idea is tune out of this collective level of perception of negativity, because it is meant to drag you down. It is meant to preoccupy you. It is meant to distract you. It is meant to create a kind of a lull in the collective, like imagine if there's a whole group of people, right? Imagine, like, even when I've been a teacher or something like that, if the class has a lot of energy, like, you want to get them outside and get the energy, let them have their energy out, right? If you have a child, then you would know, like, you want them to get tired. When they're tired, then they're easy, you can get them put down for a nap or something, But when it comes to society, imagine this. Imagine if there's a prerogative to have society be tired, to be worn out, to not feel like doing much, to feel like things are so negative that there's no point, or that it's just, it's so messed up right now. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think, right? How can you move forward with a mindset like that? You can't. That's why you've got to tune out of the collective perception. You've got to tune into your own individual level vision, and you've got to get that vision first and foremost through meditation, through positive association with people who you're going to have to weed out the negative experiences and find people who are in your corner. Find those people who are your tribe. Find those things that you do enjoy doing and tune into them. And if it's nothing, if you feel like you don't enjoy anything, maybe you just enjoy peace and quiet. Take that time to just ask yourself, like, what is it that I want out of my life? And what is it that I really like? What is it that when I do experience it, just really kind of feels nice, And when you think about that, therein lies your vision. Food for thought. I'll let you guys, I'll let that marinate for a little while. Peace.